I had every reason to be grateful, but then one little thing kind of, you know, one little thing set me back where I felt like my whole world was crashing down. And I'm going to tell you about it. And I have to admit, I feel a little lukewarm. Like I almost didn't go live. I was like, oh, I'm not having the best day today. But I was like, you know what? Like I promised you guys I was going to go live, so we're going to go live. Um, because I still want to prove to you that what we talked about yesterday, like you are not your circumstances. Just trying to put a poll out here because they're fun. And I want to remind you that you are not your circumstances. Okay, hold on. What is it? Let's see if it works here. Oh, okay. Okay. Do small setbacks affect your mood more than you like? Done. Okay, and yeah, so I'm gonna tell you about it because this was one of the days where it was just testing me, and I had to literally take a step back and breathe. So here's how my day went, okay? So the day was looking good. I felt productive. I got a few things done, and then I was waiting for my mobile mechanic to come out. So I give him the part, and he was a little late, but I was like, okay, that's fine. And I had somewhere to go. So um basically I went to a meeting for church because we were planning a party. And the day was going good in the meeting. We are having lots of laughs and then planning a party for women. And all of a sudden I got a call. And basically I found out that the part that I got wasn't the right one for the car. So basically the car meant that I couldn't drive my car, right? And I remember in that moment, like at first, I was very anxious. I was very upset because I was like, oh my God, like, how could I have not known this? Like, and there was a point where I was like, I was telling the mechanic, like, I almost pointed fingers and I was like, this is why, like, you need to come early and all this stuff. And I remember there was a point where there was a point where something told me to just breathe. And I did feel like my world was crashing down, but I just breathed and I just told him, you know what? It's okay. I'm gonna deal with this Monday. Let's hope I have that receipt because it wasn't neither of us. It wasn't our mistake. And I have to admit, it really brought down my mood. Like I went from like being a 10, like feeling like on top of the world, to all of a sudden feeling like a 30. Like if you had to grade it. And I remember that moment I realized I had to release it because sometimes it's like as much as we want to control the situation, it's just what I was talking about all week. This funny part. As much as you want to control the situation, it's like you can't really control it. And sometimes you have to let it go. Like sometimes it's like you have to get to a point where you realize like this is not worth my energy. And on top of that, after this happening, I had to meet a friend, and basically she was meeting me because she couldn't make my birthday, and it was such a nice evening. And she ended up just blessing me and with her presence, obviously. But she ended up like we ended up going to a restaurant. She like ended up covering my meal, like gave me a small gift, like some earrings, and I remember that just like it lifted my mood, and I was like, "That's so kind of you." And she's like, "Yeah, like I wanted to celebrate you and all that stuff." And I remember thinking like this is crazy how it lined up because it started as like the day going good and then the day kind of plummeting a bit and then the day went right back up. And you know what? I'm glad I pushed myself to go and I have to admit I was tempted to not go. and just be like, listen, I can't go. Like my headspace is not there. But I remember pushing myself. And do you know, like when I went on the bus, it was almost like there was a part of me that was just like, this is exactly what you needed. And hey, everyone, if you're watching, how are you doing? I'm just sharing the thing that almost ruined my day. And so basically, I ended up meeting up with her and ended up being a good day. And I ended up getting to know her even more. And to the people who has not have any small setbacks, like I want to know how you don't let it affect your mood at all and how your energy doesn't go down. I'm very curious. Please put that in chat. And if you've put yes in a poll, I'm curious to know like how you've dealt with that setback. How did you overcome your mood? How about you say it, Katie? Anyways, and I remember that moment. I was like, I'm so glad I pushed myself, despite how I felt, like despite what was going on, because I got to know a different level of her, and I got to know more about her Christian walk and all that stuff, and like just getting to know on a deeper level, and it really inspired me. And I remember thinking, I was like, I have to come in here and just share this. Like, it's like sometimes it's so easy, like when something doesn't go our way, or it's like your day doesn't go the way you think it's gonna go. It's so easy to just throw in a towel and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm just gonna let that day. I'm gonna just let the what happened just consume my day. And I think this was like one of those pivotal moments where I just noticed where I just all of a sudden just switched my mood and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna release it. And I even told the mechanic, I'm like, don't worry about it. And you know what's funny is when I was talking to the mechanic, because after he discovered it was the wrong part that they gave me, and it meant that I would be without a car. I remember like he was just trying, like he was so like graceful and he was just trying to like he was just attempting to be like, okay, maybe I could source it from other places, all this stuff. And at first I was like, you could do that. But then after a while, I was like, you know what? It's okay, go home. Like I remember like he was just like working so hard and I was like, you know, it's okay. Like I'm like, you come back on Monday. Um and so I just wanted to share that. Like if you're having a hard day, like don't let that stop you. Like don't let it stop you from finding the good things that are happening. And I just thought it's funny how God works. Like it's like maybe like that very like my very day was planned in a way that he knew that was gonna happen. So then by the time I met this friend, like he knew that she was gonna lift my mood up. And she was exactly who I needed to meet at that very time. Like and it's just so precious. And I did share with her a little bit and I was like, you know what? Like and I did share with her and I was like, no, I refuse. I refuse to let this like whole thing mess up my day or my whole weekend. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to share that. That was like the main thing I just wanted to share. This is probably not gonna be a long live today. And that's okay. And the biggest thing that like another thing is the biggest thing I learned too was realizing like even just hearing my friend's story. I just want to share this is like sometimes you don't even know what people go through. Like I got to know her in a deeper level and apart from her Christian walk, like just hearing what she was going through. It just made me see like wow, like everyone's going through it. Like you just don't know like what people are going through. Like I had my own day too and then I showed up and like it's just a reminder to like give other people grace because you don't know what they're going through. It's the same way like I may not know what someone else is going through. And grace is so important because sometimes we can just think about ourselves and we can let what's not working or like we can allow the things that seem disrupted to make us think, oh, like that person is not acting like how they normally act, or they're not acting how I expect them to act. And I think it's just important to have space for people and have compassion for them. And that was the biggest thing I learned. And realizing that just like you don't know everything, other people are not. Like there was a part of me too, like when I was talking to the mechanic, I was like, how did you not know it was the wrong part? Which we did check. But there was like a small detail that was missing on that specific piece where we realized it was for the wrong side. And there was at that point, it was like sometimes it's like I expect perfection from people. And I realized it's like you just can't. Like you can't expect the same perfection from someone else. Like you can't expect that. It's not realistic. And I remember there was a point where there was a voice in my head that said like, "No, Nikia, like it's okay. Like he didn't notice, you didn't notice either." And what was funny is when I looked back at the bill, I remember there was a point where I looked at that bill and I was looking at the detail because it said right. And I said that this specific part was on the driver's side. And there was a part of me that's saying, like, this seems a little off. But I was like, oh, maybe that's like code for a driver's side. I don't know. And I realized I was like, okay. I realized that I had to help hold myself accountable too and be like, okay, I kind of saw that detail, but I kind of brushed it off and was like, oh, maybe it's I don't know, maybe it's like some fluke or and then I ignored it. Right? Um so today was just a day, just a day of having grace and compassion, and just learning to slow down and breathe through moments where like you're like, oh, this is not going the way I thought, and just walk through it and push through it, despite like everything you're seeing, and just continue to see the things that you enjoy, like continue to see the things that's working and not focusing so much on the things that are not working. You know, guys, it's so easy to focus on the things that are not working. When especially when one thing is not working. It's so easy to ignore all the things that are working for that day. Like I had a good day today, right? Like had like the planning for the garden party for women, right, with my church, and then I had like something else planned with a friend later on, and it was so easy to let that one moment like disturb my whole day. Like, have any of you guys done that where like you had a good day and then you let one moment like screw it up? Basically, have you ever had that? Um, and that was when I had to realize I was like, okay, no, we're not gonna do this because I'm in a good mood right now, and I don't want my mood completely depleted. And I love seeing this vote because I'm glad to know that I'm not the only one that has let a setback except like affect my mood. And today was a day of trying to regulate it. I closed my eyes and I remember I just breathed. I just took a deep breath. And sometimes you have to do that. Is just take a deep breath. That's all you gotta do. And I just want to share that today. All right. Have a good day, guys. Bye.